Hi everyone, Ellie here from Grassroots Sports, and I'm joined by AIHL Assistant Commissioner Lisa Martens, who was a co-director of the Women in Ice Hockey Summit on Saturday. And I'd just love to have a chat with you about the summit because it's a first for the AIHL to do something like this, sort of the inspiration behind it and the wonderful speakers that you had. So run us through the summit, Lisa.
Thanks, Ellie. Yeah, we had an amazing event lined up. The inspiration behind the event was really that we've been at the AIHL very conscious that we want to extend our platform out and include the women in ice hockey. Not only just the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League, which is growing phenomenally and doing really well. So last year we had them at the finals doing a pre-game show as part of the broadcast, which is fantastic. But also recognising all the women in the sport, whether it's in junior leagues or men's leagues, and how they are contributing to the growth of our sport.
And so how long has the summit been in making for? When did you first sort of start thinking about it and really say, okay, this is definitely something we're going to do?
We were looking at this from much earlier in the year, so we've been working towards it for almost the whole season. We wanted to make sure that we had the right lineup and also the right format. And also, you know, the finals is a great platform. It's the biggest gathering that we've got. Everyone is really excited, so it's been a long time in the works. And I'm really excited that we brought such a stellar lineup together.
And tell me a little bit about your lineup. You had about 8 speakers, and including a really amazing opening keynote speaker in Brenda Andrus from the Commissioner of the CWHL. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about your speakers and getting them on board.
Yeah, it was great. We had quite a phenomenal lineup, starting, as you said, with Brenda Andrus from the Canadian Women's, or the CW as she calls it, and that was a real boon for us because they'd just done quite an historic announcement the night before, so big week for the CW, and to open up with that calibre of speaker, to have her join us from Canada via Skype, it was just great. And
we just flew her in.
Yeah, just for the evening in the finals. But no, it was great to have Brenda on and share her experiences. She really set the tone for the summit, because she was really talking about what it takes, the realities of how to grow a women's league. And our sport is an emerging sport in Australia. It's different from in Canada, it's such an exposure. But she was talking about how we bring all these kinds of learnings, which is why we had all those industry speakers from across different sporting codes in Australia. So Brenda was fantastic. It was a great start for us.
And then from there you had Anne-Marie Harrison, oh my mistake, sorry Anne-Marie, CEO of the Victorian Institute of Sport. Tell me a little bit about getting the CEO of Victorian Institute of Sport, where we currently are for the AIHL finals.
Yeah, Anne-Marie was fantastic. Also, she was talking about getting women into sports administration and sports management. And the Victorian Institute of Sport has a couple of programs, in particular the Leap and Lead. So those are the kinds of programs that we want to learn from. And it was a jam-packed day. I think we had more people that we could actually not fit into the agenda. We had so many. We had Tennis Australia. We had Tal, retired Matilda and Olympian, and just an amazing speaker. She was talking about what it really takes to put women's sport on the forefront rather than just an aside or an adjacent topic, which I think is one of the key lessons and the key messages that came out. So we had Basketball Australia, we had Cricket Australia, we had Netball, and Jane Cooper from the Women's AFL. Like you said, just speaker after speaker, just adding so much and connecting us to the Australian Women's Ice Hockey and women in ice hockey. They were surprised, how much we've built already. And then having Riley Pageant and Christelle Vanderwerf talk about their experiences and what they go through to be on the national stage. It really showcased how much we have to come together and continue to grow the sport. But drawing on their experiences is just, it's a real acceleration for us.
Did you get anything you didn't know, or any sort of information from the summit to go forward at all?
What I think we really, it was a great opportunity to start that conversation, and that's what we wanted to come in with, an open slate. We wanted to be able to have an open conversation where we could share what's not working, what could be better, and what's really working so that we could do more of that. And I think Brenda Andrus, she actually really nailed it in the opening address, and that was around you have to come together as a league, not just individual teams. And that, as an emerging sport, is really important because then you can build as a full platform. You can take a national sport to sponsors, to the fans, and you can connect with juniors in a much cohesive way. So, and then once you've got the momentum built, then you can start to really work on your brand as an individual teams and franchises. So that for me was a real key aha moment, because I think we often come at this women's sport and getting women into sport and we see so many things that have to be done, so many initiatives that we were passionate about, and it really needs quite focused advocacy. So that for me is a real takeaway.
And are there any plans going forward? You're with the AIHL, which is the men's league, but you've spearheaded something for the women's league. Is there any plans going forward? Are you looking to really keep the momentum going from this summit?
Absolutely. Yeah, we did not go into this summit just wanting to have ideation. So it's great to be able to bring those voices and the representatives from across different leagues together, but we're really very committed to making sure that we partner with the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League, so the ADUB, as we're starting to call it, which is great. There's only good things that come out of that kind of partnership, and we want to make sure that it's not only just working with our sister league and ensuring that we've got great pathways for the juniors that are coming through into the senior women's, into the national team, but making sure that we can show to our fan base that we respect what they want out of the sport. We respect what they want for their daughters as well. So I think we always came in with action. We've got a couple of things we're going to pull together. The key thing is that we want to maintain that network. So I think this is an invitation to anyone out there in the women in ice hockey in Australia. Watch this space. We'll be bringing more, and we look forward to partnering with the women who came and represented this weekend.
Beautiful. And we are here, like you said, you held the summit on one of the biggest weekends, well, the biggest weekend of the AIHL season, the grand final, the final weekend. Run us through a little bit about this weekend and you're sort of getting it together, because, the fans come along and watch their teams play, but there's so much more that goes into it. I know there was a bit of an issue with the stream this year. It's just things don't go right, the pay-per-view, but you are live streaming it, sort of thing. So, what goes into putting on a massive event like this and bringing everyone together?
If I told you what goes into it, I'd probably scare off every single volunteer out there. But it's as you know, it's not just the production of such an event. It is making sure we've really taken this year, we've added different capabilities to the league, to the board, and that's been great because my focus is customer experience, and fans out there, we're really committed to growing our game, not just in terms of size and breadth and reach, but making sure that you can feel like this is the premier event that you come to. This is an event on the sporting calendar that you want to tell your friends and family about. So there's a lot that goes into it. And we're investing in tech that, and sometimes it doesn't work. I mean, from a tech background, and it's like, I know it's a challenge, but at the same time, we have to invest and push the boundaries. So I'm quite comfortable that, after testing all week for the live stream in particular, we made the decision that we'll do the full refund. It didn't work. We didn't want to do, kind of a half-assed type of thing. And we want to make sure that's the best experience you can have. This is our premier event. This is what all the teams, all the volunteers, all the fans, this is what they look forward to. So if you can't be here, then we're going to, we think that you're here with us. So we want to see you on the live streams. We're absolutely fine. We're committed to doing more investment in that space. We want to make sure that this is a premier event, but also world-class entertainment as well.
And we've watched the two semi-finals, and we've got out to, they're playing today. Tell me a little bit, watching from the sidelines, actually watching the hockey. I know you were sitting with some of the sponsors when you were running around, making sure everything was going well. What's it like sitting with your sponsors who help you put on this event like this, and, watching the great hockey that's, before us?
Yeah, it's fantastic sitting with sponsors, because you often... many people just think it's, brands and things around that, but there's so much passion for hockey out there. I mean, particularly in the Canadian Nets packs, we're lucky, so fortunate to have Air Canada. They're an amazing sponsor. They love their hockey, and they understand, what we're putting on, and they can see the quality of the game. And that's what I really love. But I also love sitting next to sponsors who are brand new, or they've never seen, this is maybe some of their first experience of hockey in their life, and that stays with you. So I love it. So it's nice to be able to sit down for a moment and just take it in, because hockey, that first impression, the first smack against the glass, the first crazy dangle, that roof daddy, that's going to stick with you, and people remember that, and I'd love to be there when that happens.
It was actually funny. I was standing in the VIP section yesterday watching one of the games. There was a lot of action along the boards, and I think they must have been new to the sport, because there was serious smashing up against the glass, and they were having the greatest time laughing, and they loved it. So yeah, it was really great to see that. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. I'll let you get back to running around, and thanks for joining us.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
See you, Lisa.
Ciao.